Cases of the coronavirus continue to rise in the U.S. I'm Gwen Baumgartner with details on how the White House is responding.
New cases of coronavirus confirmed here in Gallatin County. I'm Cody Boyer with the latest details.
Gallatin County and the city of Bozeman have declared a state of emergency. I'm Gabby Crevitt, and I'll let you know what that means coming up.
Just ahead of 6:30 now, back here on Montana This Morning. Caitlin Corbett, Chet Lehman. You did find a hat.
My ears are so cold.
Which I think you're going to need if you're going back out there because it's cold and it's still snowing a little bit.
Happy spring, Southwest Montana. You live in Southwest Montana, and you know we only welcome spring with snow showers, windy conditions, and cool temperatures. Unseasonably cool. Yeah, you wouldn't have it any other way. Satellite and radar showing that echoes out there on the radar, ranging from Bozeman all the way out to Billings. So I-90 could be a little challenging this morning. Other roads could be as well, so just be ready for it. Temperatures hanging in the 20s, and we're going to get all the way up into maybe the low 30s today for daytime highs. So you're about where you're going to be as far as that goes. Planner for today, those clouds and snow showers giving way to maybe some sunshine. The sun will come out to go down here on this first day of spring. Much the same kind of picture for Butte. A little sunshine peeking in the early afternoon, temperatures into the low 30s. But take heart, the second day of spring looks better than the first day of spring.
Oh, we look forward to that. Almost 6:31 now. The battle against the coronavirus here in the U.S. is growing. New York State reported more than 1,000 new cases since Tuesday. There are now more than 9,000 people infected nationwide, and at least 150 have died. Those numbers are still expected to climb. CBS's Gwen Baumgartner has the latest.
Members of the White House task force are warning infection numbers will soon skyrocket.
It's now in a high-speed platform. So we will see the number of people diagnosed dramatically increase over the next 4 to 5 days.
An increase in testing will lead to higher numbers, though some state officials, like Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, say they still need help.
We are critically low on our test kits. The state is going to have to reserve, until further notice, tests for only vulnerable populations. Those who are experiencing severe symptoms.
Yesterday, President Trump signed an emergency relief bill that includes free coronavirus testing, paid sick days, and family leave.
We're going to defeat the invisible enemy.
Lawmakers are also working on a $1 trillion rescue package that can't come soon enough for the thousands that already lost their job.
The minute you hear the word that you're getting laid off, you really got to rethink your life at that point.
The leading labor union says nearly 300,000 hotel, restaurant, and casino workers will lose their paychecks in the coming days. Perhaps the one bit of positive news: for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic started late last year, China reported no new local cases at the epicenter in Wuhan. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News.
The Navy has begun deployment of 2 hospital ships to make up for a shortage of hospital beds, one of those to California and another to New York. However, Pentagon officials say the New York ship needs weeks of maintenance first. Back in the Treasure State, Montana Governor Steve Bullock reports 2 more positive cases of coronavirus. That brings the latest numbers we have for you to 12 cases confirmed in Montana. Now, that includes the woman who lives in Maryland part-time and acquired the virus also in that state. The newest cases: a man in his 60s in Gallatin County and a man in his 50s in Missoula County. You can see the counties highlighted on this map in red with the confirmed cases. Gallatin County has 3 after one of those was reclassified to a New Hampshire case. Missoula County still has 4 cases, Yellowstone County 2. There's 1 case in Silverbow County and 1 in Broadwater County. So with that change of the New Hampshire case, there are 3 cases of coronavirus here in Gallatin County. Plus, the ban on public gathering places is now expanded. MTN's Cody Boyer met with the health department and emergency management officials and brings us the latest.
It has been another day full of public announcements all across Gallatin County, all concerning the growing fear of coronavirus. Of course, those starting with a significant update in this community. We now have confirmed 3 cases of the virus here in Gallatin County.
Our testing does have challenges, and I know people are frustrated.
As of Wednesday, 3 cases confirmed in Gallatin County, now including 2 men in their 20s. According to Cindy Spinelli with the Gallatin City County Health Department, one of those men contracted it outside of Montana in the U.S.
He suspected that he had COVID, so he self-isolated, quickly got tested.
The other, a traveler coming home from Europe.
They also quickly got tested and self-isolated.
The Health Department, TSA, and the Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport are following CDC protocol, tracking down those who they believe may have gotten too close.
The Health Department is doing contact tracing for people, and we believe there was very limited exposure in the community.
Both Spinelli and Environmental Health Director Lori Christensen would not confirm if one of the men had been among the over 15 MSU students who traveled back from Italy last week. As of Tuesday, they say the GCCHD has tested 85 people.
Right now, we're testing only symptomatic people. That's the only people who the testing is appropriate for.
But the turnaround both add comes down to available supplies.
To do the test, the healthcare provider needs to put on the N95 mask, and we know those are in limited supplies.
Along with nose swabs. And lab heads are working overtime. As for the question whether or not the students from Italy should have done more than self-quarantine, the health department leans on CDC regulation.
Now is the time to take action, not after we have evidence of community spread.
We did learn after consideration, much public comment, including at least 25 different emails from across the community, the Gallatin City County Board of Health decided to extend restrictions placed on public and private gatherings, with the exception of parks and licensed physical therapists. That list can be found on our website. In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
The city of Bozeman and Gallatin County have both declared a state of emergency because of the coronavirus outbreak. Getting more money to bring in more people to fight coronavirus into our area was the focus of emergency meetings yesterday. MTN's Gabby Crevitt tells us where that money is going.
Donna, Kevin, local governments in Montana are working to address coronavirus or COVID-19. And I spoke to county and city officials here in Gallatin County on what exactly a state of emergency means.
The Bozeman City Commission met for an emergency commission meeting on Wednesday. Commissioners unanimously passed 2 ordinances that Mayor Chris Mell said were largely procedural but of high importance.
And we're declaring emergencies. We're going to commit to working together, which we've planned to do for generations when there's a crisis like this. Second, we're cooperating so that we are eligible for state and federal aid. The health department's scaling up employees, for example, we can get that reimbursed. That's really important.
A second ordinance allows the city manager to approve contracts and spending immediately without having to wade through the normal red tape. The Gallatin County Commission also declared a state of emergency in a separate meeting.
When we do declare an emergency, it's a recognition of the situation. It allows us to enable our emergency management plan, and people that maybe are picking up additional duties, it gives them the authority to take those on.
Like the city's state of emergency, the declaration accounts for budgeting and cost recuperation.
Gives notice to the state that this is affecting our community, and we may very well go to the state saying we've exceeded our capacity, and they should be ready to assist us if need be.
In Gallatin County, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
An important note, Bozeman Mayor Chris Mell told MTN News that water, sewer maintenance, and waste pickup will continue during this critical time, no matter what. 6:38 now, a massive lawsuit that seeks to rewrite state energy policy to combat climate change has been filed in state court, and most of the lead plaintiffs aren't even old enough to vote. The plaintiffs in the suit are 16 Montana children and young adults who say that their future is being greatly harmed by climate change and greenhouse gases. The defendants in the suit are Governor Steve Bullock and 4 state agencies involved in energy policy, like the Department of Environmental Quality and the State Public Service Commission. The suit was filed with the help of the Western Environmental Law Center. It asked the court to strike Montana's state energy policy, which emphasizes fossil fuel development. The suit says the policy violates the state constitutional guarantee to a, quote, clean and helpful environment, and that the state should be ordered to rewrite that policy with an emphasis on clean energy.
The magnitude of climate change is so great that everyone has to be involved. It's not the case that the solution can be left to China or left to Russia. We have to start here, and that's the point. Of course, we alone aren't able to solve it, but if we're not involved in the solution, then there's not going to be an adequate solution.
And the state has about 40 days to file its initial response to that lawsuit. 6:39, we are going to take a break, but still ahead on Montana this morning, the coronavirus makes its way into Congress. We'll tell you who's been affected. That's coming up next, but here's what's happening on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, the latest on President Trump's efforts to help Americans and potential new coronavirus testing options. Plus, with schools closed and students working online, how can you help your child learn from home? Coming up on CBS This Morning.